Okay, the more downsides of onshore visa applications. Now, I've explained some of the differences, the pluses and minuses, between offshore partner visas and onshore partner visas in a fairly recent blog article. Please have a look if you haven't looked, explaining some of the differences between getting a prospective marriage visa or an offshore partner visa versus organising it onshore in Australia. Now, here are just a few more thoughts. Now, firstly, what is an onshore partner visa application? An onshore visa application means any visa application applied for inside Australia while the visa applicant is also inside Australia. If you're applying from anywhere but inside Australia, it's an offshore visa application. That's how it works. So that means the applicant is obviously inside Australia at that time, and that in itself adds pressures. So what are the pressures with onshore visa applications? Now, the main issue is always going to be the ticking clock issue. If you are inside Australia on a temporary visa, like a tourist visa, you will have an expiry date to deal with. You will have a date when that visa will run out and the visa holder risks being in Australia unlawfully. Now, is being in Australia unlawfully such a bad thing? Oh yes, most definitely. Now, the old term was illegal immigrant. Now they like the term unlawful for some reason. What it means is you have no legal right to be inside Australia, and you risk being arrested by the police or by the department people and put in a detention centre and or deported. It's not a good start to a partner visa application. And yes, the issue of running out of time happens all too often. Now, I don't know what it is, but once a couple are together inside Australia, they act like there's no pressure on them. They're home, and no one can imagine anybody with them getting tossed out of Australia. So they tend to just not worry about it until the date is suddenly looming and they realise they've run out of time. Now, if they are in different countries and missing each other, the loneliness drives them on. But once they're together, sometimes they become, lazy, maybe, certainly impractical. Not always, but far too often, unfortunately, and it causes all sorts of problems. Now, I'm not sure exactly what happens because, we can hardly ask people what they're doing all day, but often the sense of urgency just simply isn't there. Now, they're together, so maybe it's the subconscious mind telling them that, they've already reached the finish line. I don't know, no idea. Maybe it's the daily romance. Whatever it is, it means that applicants often don't treat the situation seriously enough, and time soon disappears, and the last legal day, when the visa holder can be in Australia, comes up really quickly. And what happens when the visa is about to run out? Well, three choices basically. 1, overstay. Terrible choice. You will ruin your future together. Don't do it. Lodge a substandard application. Now that's another terrible choice which can result in a refusal of that visa application. Now, down under visa don't do rush jobs, and we can't just push every other legitimate visa application aside and concentrate on one application because of a client leaving everything to the last minute. Return to the Philippines. Now that's also a pretty awful option, and one of which you most definitely don't want to take. You get used to being together on a daily basis, and you've been living together and waking up next to each other for the last 3 to 6 months or so, and suddenly needing to say goodbye for an unknown period of time. That would be really traumatic. But it's better than the two options above, but still it's not something that you want. Now, another tourist visa application, is that an option? Well, yeah, sometimes, and sometimes we end up doing this when the applicant who's supposed to have been preparing things just hasn't been doing it. Sometimes that's all we can do. It's far from desirable, of course. And it's very, very wrong to assume that this is somehow easy because you just had a tourist visa application. Just assuming all the, oh well, they've got all that information, haven't they? Government departments don't work like that. They don't drag out old applications and go, oh yes, we know these people. Now there's no such thing as a visa extension for an Australian tourist visa. It's a new application. It's a new visa application and requires new documentation. Now some of what we have from the last application can be reused, but not all or most. And we still have the issue of having to push everyone else off the queue because somebody wasn't organised. It's not fair, and honestly, we don't like being put in that position. We won't leave you in the lurch, but as I said, we really don't like doing this, and in some cases we have literally just not had the time to do it. When someone's contacted us and there's been a few days left and they've gone, you've got everything from before, you should be able to just put that in. Well, it doesn't work like that, and it'd be fine if we had nothing else to do. And be aware too that you may end up getting refused anyway with a further tourist visa application. This is especially the case if you've been putting things off and dragging things out and have had one too many further onshore visa applications, not extensions. We had one once where they granted it for a 2-week stay. That meant enough time for her to pack her bags and say her goodbyes. That's what they meant. Had enough. She'd been there too long. You cannot just stay endlessly on tourist visas. That's not what they're for. They know what you're doing and they don't like it and they will refuse or give you a 2-week stay, like how I just described. Now the conclusion, choose your visa type wisely. If you are efficient and prepared to take all this very seriously and will not take the ticking clock of a temporary visa stay lightly, then you can consider an onshore partner visa application. We're happy to help you with that. But if you don't believe you can make the best use of the time, then choose an offshore application. Subclass 309 offshore partner visa, or subclass 300 prospective marriage visa, also known as a fiance visa. Now they're taking less time to process these days, and they come with no deadlines at all, so you can take the time you need to prepare an excellent application and lodge the visa application when it's actually ready. Thank you. This video was brought to you by Down Under Visa, who specialise in visas for Australian Filipino couples. Please visit our website and complete a free visa assessment form, and please watch some of our other videos. Thank you.